Hello, you all. It is a very exciting day. I am going to be reacting to the music video for Fortnite. I will disclose that I did see it the night that it premiered, but I've not seen it since. And really, I'm like, I need to go back to that. Like, that's the first song on the album, and I have jumped around a lot, but I need to go back to it before I finish out the whole TTPD. But before that, I want to tell you all, I'm so excited to say this, that this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. I have had a very long relationship with BetterHelp. It has come into my life at very important times. And it's interesting because I've had it on both sides of the coin. I have used BetterHelp myself when I was in grad school. And then years later, once I became a licensed therapist, I worked for BetterHelp for about 7 months during my pregnancy. And it was amazing. It felt really good to be able to reach people from all over with all different types of issues, because at the time I was just working in college counseling. But let me go back. When I was in grad school, and I wanted to state that in grad school, it was a requirement for us to be in therapy, because the idea is that it's not really ethical if you haven't had the experience of therapy, know the benefits of it. To be the best at our job, we've got to continue to keep working on ourselves and be aware of our blind spots or our counter transference. So during grad school, I had done some therapy in person, and then in my second year of grad school, I was so busy. I was working as an intern in the College Counseling Center at The Ohio State University, and then I had night classes, and I just was going nonstop, and it was hard to even figure out a time for me to go in and physically see a therapist. And I noticed that I was starting to have like a little bit more of like panic symptoms before class and sometimes before work. So I would have it in the morning. It was like the shallow breathing, having ruminating thoughts, like I couldn't stop thinking about like my test, am I going to do okay? Or I'd be thinking a lot about my clients and really critiquing how I was doing in session with them, which is an important thing to do as a new therapist. But it got to a level where it felt like too much, and I couldn't make the time to see a therapist in person. And so I joined BetterHelp, and it was just so nice to have someone that I could talk to. And there was the ease where you can message in between sessions. I did calls at the time, and I was really weary about seeing if I could connect with someone over the phone. But honestly, there is something sometimes about just talking to someone on the phone and having them listen, and to help you gain some tools to really manage those anxiety, stress symptoms that I was going through. I mean, it was a big adjustment. Being in grad school, there's so much stress and expectation and comparison, and I really needed to work through it. And that therapist that I had at the time was invaluable. Even though I was learning so much about diagnosis and group therapy, in my classes, it was so nice to have a break from that and learn to use these tools on my own to reduce my anxiety symptoms, because it really felt like there was a weight on my chest every day, just difficulty breathing, difficulty overthinking. I learned how to regulate my nervous system, how to support myself, and also just having someone to talk to and someone that will listen. So BetterHelp, I can really speak to, helped me so much. And then years later, I was working in the college counseling setting again at Iona College, and I had free evenings and weekends. And I don't know, I was just working with the college age population, which is my favorite age, but I don't know, I felt a little limited. And I also felt like, that helped me out so much in grad school. I want to get back now too. So I signed up and went through the process, and I worked for BetterHelp for 7 months. And the only reason why I left really was because I had a newborn. If you are needing that kind of support, I highly recommend that you use BetterHelp. You will get connected to a licensed therapist that will be there to listen to you and give you helpful, unbiased support. That is so important, especially because if you don't have a therapist and you're just relying on family and friends, it's not always healthy for that to be who you rely on. So that's why I think it's really important to have somebody who is unbiased and who is trained in the field. First, you can go to the website, you can use my link. All you have to do is go sign up on BetterHelp, and you can use my link, which is listed below, and you can use my discount code as well. And you just answer a few simple questions, and then you are matched with an amazing licensed therapist that has years of experience helping you with the things that you are struggling with. And it's so great because you can do it all and it doesn't matter where you're doing it from. You can be on a computer, your phone, your tablet, you can do a video call, you can do a phone call, whatever works for you. I think that it's really great also that they offer messaging, because I think that sometimes people are just afraid of therapy. They don't know what it is. They don't know how to trust it. And this gives you the opportunity to kind of just like dip your toe in the water. You don't have to show your face or anything, but you can just message back and forth. So I encourage you to let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist that can support you from the comfort of your own home. So you can visit me at betterhelp.com/minwithmare, or you can just put in Min with Mare when you sign in, and you can get my special discount code that will give you a percentage off for the first month. I hope you all enjoy BetterHelp. Please let me know, any of you that sign up, and how it goes for you. All right, so we are going to be doing Fortnite today. But before I do that, please remember to like and subscribe if you can. Don't forget I wrote a book, and it's not just for loved ones of people with addiction issues. I think that this is helpful for a lot of people that have dysfunction in their families or in their lives. There's a lot of helpful stuff in here. But yes, it's mainly geared toward loved ones of addicts, because I believe that the loved ones are often overlooked and it's not okay. Okay, I have to stop already. Sorry. I'm just noticing, I love the black and white, but look how that looks like a little ball of yarn or string. And one of my favorite songs off of Folklore is Invisible String. And I don't know, I feel like this has to mean something, that the string is all jumbled up together. Okay.
I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new aesthetic.
That looks like a Vivienne Westwood dress. It reminds me of the dress in Sex and the City that Carrie Bradshaw wore, or was going to wear, when Big messed up the wedding. But anyways, she's ready to go, and she's in this relationship. She's shackled down, but she hasn't actually been taken to the altar, because we know that he hasn't. She's referenced this in, I think, like So Long London, and it also makes me think of Fresh Out the Slammer, which I have reacted to, but I haven't edited it yet. I will soon enough. Also seeing the garter belt, like she's wearing a wedding dress, and so it makes me feel like she's very lonely in this relationship. And the other part of me does think that it could have been about the Kanye West thing, where her reputation was ruined and she's supposed to be sent away probably forever, but they forgot to come and like really take her. But I don't know, that's a stretch of mine. That's a stretch. I gotta say, when I first heard functioning alcoholic, I rolled my eyes for a second, because I was like, man, let's not make this like something that's cool. And that's not what she's saying here. So that was just my initial judgment, but I thought about it, and functioning alcoholic till no one noticed my new aesthetic. Sometimes I think that we engage in, problematic behaviors like drinking in order to escape from what's going on in our life, in our minds, or to numb pain, or it can be to get attention. So maybe there was part of her that, wanted someone to acknowledge or see the fact that like she was harming herself by becoming a functioning alcoholic. I think she's saying that she stopped doing it and drinking like that when no one was really paying attention to what she was doing. And it's like, okay, well, I didn't get your attention that way. So, I feel like and I'm not saying attention seeking in like a negative way. It's like, it's a very true, honest thing that we can do sometimes when we feel, ignored. This is so different than any of the other videos that Taylor has done, with the bed being up, like hanging from the ceiling and everything. It's so different.
All of this to say, I hope you're okay, but you're the reason. And no one here's to blame.
Okay, so she's taking a pill that says forget him. And for some reason, I feel like it's Joe. Please don't come at me. Like, I honestly don't want to be like analyzing exactly who it is, even though I just said that. She's taking off the shackles finally, but it doesn't look like she's happy about it. And it makes me think so much about So Long London when she says, like, I'm pissed off. I gave you all that youth for free, you know, thinking that it was going to lead to a commitment like marriage. She's saying, I think she's trying to be the good person, kind of reminds me of Happiness by being like, no one here is to blame, but what about your quiet treason? It gives me the feeling that he was doing something that, you know, was betraying her or not being dedicated or having allegiance to her in a way that he should have or promised to.
For a fortnight there.
I also want to say, after listening to So Long London and a lot of the album, I think that sometimes when you're in a relationship, you can try to convince yourself that it is okay. And when you aren't doing well, like think about You're Losing Me, you know, losing the color and basically dying, and he's just doesn't even see it. And it's like, that's the problem. You don't even see that, like, I'm dying here. This isn't working. So it makes me think about the fact that sometimes you can just feel like you're going crazy in the relationship when the other person is acting like they don't see the problems or the issues at all. So I think that that's the kind of symbolism of her being in a psych ward or a mental institution, because it was like that's what happened to her. She started going crazy in her relationship, the relationship where she was shackled to this person and dedicated to them and they weren't to her.
We were forever running to you, sometimes ask about the weather. Now you're in my backyard, turn into good neighbors. Your wife waters flowers. I wanna kill her.
This is like such a disturbing part of the video, like seeing Taylor with these tattoos on. It's interesting that she has tattoos like Post Malone and under her eyes being always trust, when it's like, I think in What Anti-Hero, she's like, trust no one. Everyone will betray you. People's mistreatment of you can really change you and essentially who you are. So whether it be in jail or a mental institution, it's as if she's like wiping off and showing who she really is underneath and who she's become. And that's a person that, you know, is tatted up and has been through like a lot of stuff. It's like showing, representing somebody who she's become that you don't usually see. It gives me the impression of somebody like out on the streets, or someone who's having to like really do things, maybe even things that aren't legal, to survive. Like, it makes me think of vigilante shit, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Like, that's just the vibe that I get from that, of her just like really like, this is who I've become underneath it all, from the torture and the pain that she's been subjected to. I feel like that white to black is like a new phase because she's free now. Okay.
All my mornings are Mondays, stuck in an endless February. I took the miracle move on drug. The effects were temporary, and I love you. It's ruining my life. I touched you for only a fortnight, but I touched you.
I kind of feel like the black that they're wearing, and then the colors that are showing up, and all of the people in the back are black. I feel like she's sitting across from somebody that also has like this darkness, or also does what she does, being a poet, putting how she feels into lyrics and poems. And then the colors swirling together, it's like that's maybe truly like her real color or expression or aura, and that's their aura. Just because I like thinking about this kind of thing.
And for a fortnight there, we were forever running to you, sometimes ask about the weather. Now you're in my backyard, turn into good neighbors. Your wife waters flowers. I wanna kill her. And for
Okay, so it feels like this is a forbidden love, but I really feel like them dressing the same kind of gives me that twin flame type of vibe or symbolism. I also like the papers flying around, and then it's also her face. And I can't remember what music video it was, but I've seen that like outline profile of hers before. I'm getting distracted by the visuals, and I don't know about the words talking about your wife waters flowers, I want to kill her. I think that it's like, is this cheating that went on? Is it potentially cheating in her mind, like guilty of sin? I see her laying in like the two of them on her profile picture, which is like almost laying where her brain would be, where her mind would be, thinking about the two of them reading poetry to each other, looking the same, just kind of symbolizing that they're one of the same, I think.
A fortnight there we were together, running to you sometimes, calm and calm. My sweater, now you're at the mailbox, turned into good neighbors. My husband is cheating, I wanna kill him. I love
That look in her eye was kind of like a change where she became skeptical, like, oh wait, are you really the person that I thought you were? Is that just me? Anybody else feel that way? And I'm also thinking, this is Post Malone, who is known for his face tattoos, and he doesn't have them here. So was she romanticizing who she thought he was? Did she not want to see him with who he really is, like with the, sorry to say, grimy like tattoos? We very much do that. We will idealize people. I myself have a problem with that, and I try so often to just remind myself that people are people. No one is perfect. Everybody has flaws. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. If the words are too good to be true, it probably is. Without it being negative, but just based in reality that, the feelings of love and infatuation are very fun and very intoxicating. But once they end, which they do, you want to still like the person and feel like you know that person.
you, it's ruining my life. I touched you for only a fortnight. I touched you, I love you.
Feels like she got tricked. There he is now with the tattoos on his face, and there he is assisting these other men who are doing experiments on her, which he references in the song Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. And we also have the guys from the Dead Poets Society, which is a great film. And it also makes me think of The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Like, were you sent by someone who wanted me dead? Sleeper Cell Spy. Like, these people are trying to do experiments on her, and it doesn't seem like she's given consent because she's kind of strapped down there. But it could also be a nod to her masters and how they took them from her and tried to control her art. It could be symbolizing that. And also the fact that, like, somebody who you love so much, or that you thought loved you, is also a person that's torturing you.
I've lived that.
Also, look at this room. The room is full of men, and this could be representing the men that are in power in the music industry and try to take control over her. Add Kanye, John Mayer, just go down the list. It's like the asylum that raised her, truly.
Ruining my life. It's ruining my life. I touched you for only a fortnight. I touched you. I touched you.
It's interesting because it's like he saved her because he couldn't stand seeing her in pain, but it's like he was still part of it,
Another fortnight lost in America.
Why do I feel like the guy on the phone, and this part could be Travis? That's an American phone booth. It's not a British one. But, all the rain and then the depression, I remember, like, he tried to call her. He was trying to give her that bracelet with his number on it. But anyways, I think I just want to pull Travis into this because I'm obsessed with their love story right now.
Let it go. that you won't pick up another fortnight lost in America. Moved to Florida, buy the car you want, but it won't start up till I touch you.
It's really good. It's really, really good. Well, I feel like all of those pages burning was like she had to write about it to process the pain and then set all of it on fire in order to move on, which is beautiful. So I think that she's just kind of like, F it, I've been tortured. Like, who cares? Let everything out of the vaults. Let everything out for people to see. I can't wait to hear what you all think about this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. You all take care.